Oh, that's so cute. Do I agree that if love had a flavor, it would be chocolate? Of course. Of course. Okay, and now another question usually asked is what wines go with chocolate? So, if you're having milk chocolate, or like the Rocher with nuts, I think Prosecco is really good because it's light and sparkly. And if you're having dark chocolates, I don't think there's anything much better than having a glass of port with some good rich chocolate. That's the flavor of love.
I agree. Do you like to use Ghirardelli chocolate?
I don't like to use Ghirardelli chocolate. I don't know why. I don't like Ghirardelli. I do like Guittard. Guittard chocolate is made for the baker and for the chocolate maker. And they don't make candy. They don't make anything else. They just make chocolate, and they have a lot of different varieties that you can use. In the Bay Area, because that's where they are, you can go into the grocery store and buy a 2-pound box of Guittard, different flavors. You can get them online. Ghirardelli is just not my favorite, and I don't know why.
What about Schaffenberger?
Scharfenberger I used to love, but it's now owned by Hershey's. So Scharfenberger, they were winemakers. And I followed them when they were new and they were in the Berkeley area, and you could go watch them make the chocolate, and bought a lot of their chocolate. It was a very fruity flavor that it had, which I love. And they did what they wanted to do. They became big enough of a brand that they were wanted. Hershey's bought it to be their outstanding chocolate, and they use the same beans that they use for Hershey. So it doesn't have that fruity taste to it anymore because they're not sourcing their beans the way they were. Peter and I have talked about that with sourcing the beans in Chiapas, which has a very different flavor. Did you get different flavors from different parts of the world? Am I seeing any nods? Vicky did. Yes, you did. See, that is tasting. Now, I'm not going to ask you to close your eyes and tell me where something comes from, right? But that is, you've taught yourself to taste and to say, yes, this has something in it that I like, this has something I don't like.
When is the best time of the day to eat chocolate?
When you're awake.
Anytime.
And if you're holding a piece of chocolate and it melts in your hand, like happened to Claire yesterday, that's very specific. It means you did not eat it fast enough.
Do you ever use Baker's chocolate?
Do I ever use Baker's chocolate? Sure. But remember, Baker is a brand, right? Henry Baker in Boston. And he only makes 100% chocolate. Did anybody try the little 100% disc? I'm not seeing any pout faces. Take just a little teeny and you'll see. Now, I think it's a real good idea to take all your little pieces that you have left, throw in those darks, just a few, melt it up and make yourself something with it. Whatever nuts you have, whatever fruit you have. There you go. Put some alcohol with it and have fun. One thing that I often do if I'm doing something and it's just not coming out exactly perfect, I'll make a bark and just lay it out flat. This chocolate. Okay, what am I going to do with it now? I might just lay it out, throw nuts, cherries. Again, Trader Joe's has some lovely dried fruits and nuts on top of it, and they're great. In France, I think they call them pistolas, and they're beautiful little candies.
I like to put a little piece of dark chocolate in my oatmeal in the morning.
Dark chocolate in your oatmeal, of course. Or dark chocolate in your coffee in the morning. Yeah, I've discovered that instead of getting cocoa powder for chocolate milk, I'll just put some dark chocolate at the bottom of a cup, get the milk hot, stir it up, and might even put a little bit of chai in it. And it's like the best hot chocolate. And there's no cream in it. You still get that richness.
Do you have a preferred percentage of chocolate?
Percentage, of course, remember we talked about the cocoa mass. So the higher the percent, the more cocoa mass, or it's also called cocoa chocolate liqueur that are in it. So it depends on where it comes from. Some are going to be really have a more bitter, rich taste to it, the higher your percentages are. Some 85% have a mild taste. From Bali, and 85% is still pretty mild.
I love chocolate with salt. What is the best candy to make?
We always think of caramels with salt. I like making the little pistol, just a piece of chocolate that you melt, you put some fruit, and then you use a finished salt on top. Not just table salt, but a finished salt. There's the salt that's sliced, and so it melts into your mouth. And I think that's really good. Almost anything like these rochers, you could put some finished salt on it. Remember, when you're putting a finish on, you do it from high above so that it goes out equally. Okay, and remember, there is caffeine in chocolate, but it's a different kind of caffeine than it's in coffee, and its half-life is very short, so you will all sleep very well tonight and have chocolate dreams. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much.
Excellent job. This was amazing.
Thank you. Come back again.
Thanks, Geri. You're